Okay, so bamboo jug lines, one of the only ones I have left from that batch I made a few years ago. First thing you want to do is cut this thing to about 2 or 3 lengths on the knot. That's waterproof. That means there's air in there, which means you can just make your jug lines for free if you can find a stand of bamboo that's big enough. And I'd cut it, that's one length there. I'd maybe do 2 or 3 lengths that size. And then I would just simply get some line here, my weights, and one of my clips there, and some circle hooks, and you're good to go. So you're gonna measure out, let's go a fathom and a cubit here. That's about 9 feet. Again, ideally what you wanna do is you don't wanna have an open hole. You want both ends to be closed. And I would recommend some bamboo that's at least 1.5 inches in diameter, and make sure that you have 1, 2, or 3 full waterproof sections with no cracks in the bamboo. A sheen on this bamboo for medium grade sandpaper, and sand it off, right? Coat them with some varnish, but coat it with the varnish after you sort of sand off that sheen. If you want to look cool, you can take a blowtorch and do all kinds of tiger stripe patterns on it. You can do all kinds of things just like you would with a cane pole. I'm gonna tie a stomper knot here, so I'm gonna do an anchor hitch here. And can a catfish pull that off? Yeah, you better believe it. I'm probably gonna do a series of videos on this. People seem to want to know about it. So, or you can do an eyelet down here, just like you would with a PVC. Just the eyelet screw. Put that down in there and seal it up with, again, I would do the epoxy. You see how that have that little dip there? Epoxy putty in that with my wood flour, and then that'll waterproof that, and then you can have that eye bolt coming straight out of there, and it's perfect, and it'll be perfectly waterproof. Very difficult for this to come loose because that's an anchor hitch, very tight, plus 3 half hitches, plus a stopper knot right there. I mean, it would take, like, as you can see, I'm a pretty strong guy, and that's hardly moving, right? So do a perfection loop, and we're gonna put our clip here, right? Put the weight at the bottom here. When it comes to jug fishing, you need to use whatever you have. You know, I got all these pine trees. Pine limbs float very well. Get you a limb that's 1.5 inches around, shave it down, let it dry out, and then coat it with some varnish and do the same thing you're doing with the bamboo. It's no different. The catfish don't know it's made out of bamboo or PVC or Clorox bottles or oak tree limbs or pine tree twigs. They don't know. All they know is there's just some bait there for them to eat. That's all they know. So this weight will come up about a cubit or so, and we're gonna tie a dropper loop on it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Again, it's another knot you need to learn. If you're gonna start fishing, you gotta learn your knots, man. That's a dropper knot right there, baby. If you want a good hook for set lines, I have a nice little 4/0 4X strong circle hook. It's a nice big eyelet in there. Wire is so, the cable or wire is so big. Then you just put that sucker like that, right? Just like that. Sounds like an F-16. Guys at Maxwell must be training or something. You know, I already have these. If you need some clips like that, I got plenty of those. If you want them, they're on the website. I got the material to make the slinky weights. You can use whatever you want. You could literally tie a 3-inch nail to the bottom of this thing. All you want is just a little bit of weight to get that down. What sets the hook is the fact that there's air in here, and so that fish will take that and just tilt it straight under, just like that. Because it's bamboo and nobody sees them, nobody's gonna necessarily know you got jugs out. It's just another stick in the water, right? See, it's camo, that way you don't have to worry about somebody robbing your jugs. But do not leave these jugs out in the river, man. Keep track of your jugs, number them. In Alabama, we don't have to have a date or your mailing address or whatever. We don't have to have any of that. Your name, phone number, email. We don't have to have any of that stuff. There are a lot of jug fishers here, but the jug fishermen here have been very responsible. They take up all their jugs. They don't leave it. They don't waste. They stay with their jugs. It's just not a problem here. And you can make up 15 or 20 of these things, literally like having 15 or 20 fishing rods. I mean, you'd have to have 20 guys lined up on the bank with rods to equal 20 of these. In Alabama, you're not supposed to run these below the dam. I see guys doing it all the time. That's the main reason I don't do it, because that's where the largest concentration of catfish is, right below the dam, and they're not supposed to be running these below the dam, and I don't. That's why one of the reasons you see me hand lining, because this is nothing but a short hand line. That's all it is. It's just, you know, you got the thick, heavy line, you got the hook, you got everything else. And whereas my hand line, my boat is serving as the flotation device as opposed to this little piece of bamboo. There's no difference, all right? How do you stow it? You just wrap this sucker up, watch the hook, stick your 15, 20 of these down into a 5-gallon bucket. If you want some good jug line hooks, check out the Black Warrior Lures 4X strong circle hooks that are available on Amazon. So you just check the description, and you'll see the Black Warrior Lures catman hooks on Amazon. Get them there, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.